Short form content will not make you $10,000 a month unless you have a massive following and you're making 10 grand a month from AdSense. You have hundreds of thousands or millions of followers. Sure, maybe you make 10 grand a month from short form, from ad revenue. But if you are a normal person like me who's making money online, selling your knowledge and skills, and building your personal brand, you will not make $10,000 a month with short form alone. Because if you want people to take an action, there are 4 steps that need to take place in order for someone to take an action, meaning to get them to do something, small or big. Small meaning get your free low ticket product that you use as a lead magnet, or something as big as deciding to work with you. There are 4 steps that need to take place. And so what happens is in short form content, these four steps all have to happen at the same time. And so what happens is with short form content, you will have a piece. One video might be this piece, another video might be this piece of the puzzle, another video might be this piece of a puzzle. But if you're posting once a day and your ideal clients, your prospects, your leads are definitely not going to see every single time you post. There's no way. They're not seeing every time. And so what happens is you're missing the pieces of the puzzle, or the piece of the puzzle takes weeks to get across and it doesn't all happen at the same time. And you need all 4 of these steps to happen at the same time. You need this puzzle to be completed at once to see the whole picture. And that's how they're actually going to buy from you. So what are these pieces of the puzzle? So essentially there are 2 different ways of looking at it. There are 2 different terminologies used for these, but a lot of times when you think short form content, right, you think hook, value, call to action, right? You'll hear people say that. They'll be, oh yeah, just make a hook and then give the value and then have your call to action. The problem is that this is missing a lot. A lot of times this is missing here. And what's missing is this benefit. It's why they should care about what you're even talking about. And so this first part is how people are going to take a small step with you. So this piece of content is going to make up one video, and this is how someone's going to take a small step with you, not work with you. This is for small step. And then we're going to talk about how to get them to actually work with you, doing this same concept just on a little bit of a larger scale. So what happens is they have a hook, and then they have the benefit. This is the reason why people will actually pay attention. Because if you just say 3 ways to do this thing, here's the 3 ways, and then the call to action. They're like, okay, cool. Now I know how to do this thing. But if you go, here's 3 ways to do this thing, and it's going to completely change your life because XYZ, then you give them the 3 ways to do the thing. Now they actually want to do the thing because you told them that it's going to change their life. Because you told them it was going to get them XYZ result, do this certain thing, change this thing about their life, make them more money, whatever that is. And so what happens is we go hook, value, CTA. We get so caught up in this framework, and we forget the most important part is why they should actually care about something, right? And so for me personally, I have always had a bit of an authority problem. When people said, do this thing, I was like, okay, but why? Like, why should I do it? Why should I listen? And granted, probably not the best thing in some circumstances, but it made me who I am today. And so with that comes this. Because people never told me why I should do the thing. They just said, here's the thing that you should do. Here's how you do it. Go do it. But I was like, okay, but why should I do it? You're not giving me an actual good reason to go do something. You're just telling me to do it. And that's exactly how your clients and your prospects, customers, leads, whatever, the people that you're trying to get to pay you money, that's how they feel. They feel like you're just telling them to do something, but they have no idea why they're supposed to do it. They have no idea what's in it for them, right? And that's the big thing. And so what happens here is, once again, so this is for short form content. So now another way of looking at it is what, why, how, and now. So like I said, it's kind of the same thing where it's just another way of looking at it. What are they doing? What's the hook? Why are they watching the video? and then why are they watching the video? What benefit are they going to get out of it? How should they do it? This is the value. You tell them how to do the thing. And then now this is what you should be doing. And so what happens is a lot of times in our content, though, sticking with this second version of this framework, what happens is with our short form content, this is what we end up doing. We end up going, you should do this thing. Here's this separate video, right? Instead of this being all wrapped into one video to get them to do an action, what happens is we have this video here. We have a video telling them what they should be doing. Here's how to do this thing, right? And we have this video. You should do this. Okay. Then we have another video that's like, this is a mindset thing. This is why this thing's important. This is why you should do this. Okay. And then we have another video going over the tactics of how to do this thing. And then we try to get them to take an action. We try to get them to do something. We try to get them to jump on a sales call with us, or we try to get them to buy some of our stuff or get our low ticket workshop or whatever. But all of your content is all scattered. They're like seeing you talk about this thing. They're like, you're trying to get them to buy something, but they don't even know why they should buy it. And they've seen you give some tips before, so they know you kind of know what you're talking about, but they don't really understand. It's not all wrapped together. It's not all packaged together. And so we can do this, once again, like I said, in short form content. And we can have 1, 2, 3, 4 steps here. There it goes. We can have them do the what, why, how, now. But the problem is this is only going to lead to very small actions. The only people that we're converting from short form content is people who are there watching a 30-second video and they actually don't really care. They're just on there to be entertained. And so this is only going to lead to a low quality or low amount of an action. And so if you want someone to take big action, like working with you, paying you a lot of money, whatever that is, if you want someone to take a big action with you, you can't do it with short form content. So to get them to take a big action, this goes into longer form content, specifically that being YouTube and or podcasts. Okay. And so that's why YouTube is so powerful, guys. I've made multiple six figures online using Instagram and YouTube, were specific combination together that worked so incredibly well for me. And what happens here is that I get them to take an action following this framework into a low, maybe I shouldn't say low quality, a low moving action. This is just getting them to take a small action. I guess that's way easier vocabulary. Getting them to take a small action. But if I want them to take a big action, what am I going to have to do? Well, I'm going to have to do this when I have their full attention. I'm going to have to do this on YouTube, on podcast. I'm going to have to do this where I can tell them, where I can go into this, where I can say, look, I made my first $10,000 a month profit online with my online business using Instagram and YouTube with only 2,500 followers. I made my first 10,000 a month in profit with only 2,500 followers. Okay, now you're listening. Now you're paying attention. And then why is it important? Well, it's important because this hitting 10,000 profit, how is that going to change your life? What is that going to be able to do for you? What is that going to be able to do for me? It was able for me to actually see that was my first month going all in. I was always like kind of half committed and I went all in, and that was the first month. And then after that, hitting 20, 30K a month. That was the spark that lit the fire for me. That's what allowed me to continue going. And so that's the why. That's the why you should listen, is because the 10,000 month is just the beginning. That rolls into much more than that. And then I go into the how I did it. And if you want to see how I did it, I have a free 37-minute masterclass on how exactly I did that. Made 10,000 a month, made my first 10,000 a month profit with only 2,500 followers. There's a first link in the description there. It's just another YouTube video that it'll take you to. And that's how I did it. And so now I give you the how of how I did it. And then now I tell you, so now what I want you to do is go and watch that masterclass video, right? So I took you through this whole journey. I hooked you with what was really important. I told you why it was important. I gave you the value, not in this video, but in that other video. And then I told you what exactly you need to do next because of this information that you now know. And so if I want you to take a big action, you're going to have to spend big time with someone. They're going to have to spend a little bit of time with you. You're going to have a conversation with them. Whether that's a quote unquote one-way conversation like we're having right now where I'm talking and you're listening. However, you're still coming to realizations and thoughts and having feedback in your head. We are still having a conversation even though it's one way. And so if you want someone to take a small action, buy a little product, do a little thing, get your free whatever, you can do this with short form. And you can do the hook, you can do the benefits, you can do the value, and you can do the call to action. But if you want them to take big action, to pay you a lot of money, you have to actually do this in longer form. You have to actually get better at storytelling. You have to actually tell them why they should listen to you. Because if I tell you to do this thing, you don't really care. But if I give you a reason why and how it's actually going to benefit you, then you care. And so that's the whole important part here. That's why short form content alone will not make you $10,000 a month. You need long form content coupled with short form content. So once again, if you want to watch that masterclass, first link in the description. I'll take you to another YouTube video, and we will see you on tomorrow's YouTube video.